What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. I'm going to put a link to this article from fadeawayworld.net in the pinned comment in the comment section below. I already see two things that I have a problem with in this article. One thing that's a complete lie. If you peruse this article, it says that Magic Johnson averaged 20 points or more only twice in his career. That's a lie. Magic Johnson had 4 seasons where he averaged 20 points or more. 80-81, he averaged 21.6 points per game. 86-87, he averaged a career high 23.9 points per game. 88-89, 22.5. 89-90, 22.3 points per game. So already that's a complete and total lie. And between 1980 and 1990, Magic Johnson averaged just a hair under 20 points per game. 19.9 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 11.7 assists, 2 steals, 52.5% shooting from the floor. Now only 29.4% from three-point range, but 84.4% from charity stripe. But anyway, that's just wrong. And the other thing they said is that because of today's pace, Magic would average more assists. That's not necessarily true, and I don't understand this constant repetition of repeating this falsehood that somehow this is the fastest pace in the NBA history. It's not. It's not. It's the fastest pace right now. The pace. Let's look at NBA league averages. The average pace right now is 99.2. Now, that's the same as it was in 2020-21, and pace actually was faster in 2019-20 and 2018-19. All right, even though scoring was down a bit compared to today. And a lot of that has to do with, from what I could see, foul calls. Foul calls and free throw shooting being at an all-time high as far as percentage this year. But 99.2 pace, Magic Johnson, 86-87, the league average for pace was 100.8. So it's actually comparable, if not a little bit faster, back when Magic played. Points per game, 114.7. Now that's the highest it's been since 1969, 1970, I believe. Yeah. But we got to remember that 12 threes a game are being made. So that's pushing up scoring too. But I just wanted to make those points. But anyway, Magic Johnson says that if he was playing today, he would be just as great, maybe even more effective. And he told this recently to Dan Patrick. And this is what Magic Johnson had to say. All right. As far as having to change his game, he said not at all. He said, give me 1 second. He said, I wouldn't have to change any. Because what I do, what I specialize in, is needed in the game today. That's coming down the fast break and passing it to people and putting them in a position to score. Instead of passing it to the guys who can do the slam dunk or make a layup, I'll be passing it for them to make a three-point shot. You have to remember that centers are not centers. When I played, you had 2 7-footers on the court. Now you don't have that. So, man, I'd be driving and I'd have no resistance in today's game. I can most definitely see that. Absolutely. Magic, 6'9", strong. I'm not saying he was the strongest guy out there. I'm not saying he could bench press 350, but he was strong, big, and at the end of the day, a guy like Magic could probably play literally all 5 positions. He did it back when he played, he could do it today. Because you don't have these big lumbering centers. I mean, yeah, you have Jokic and Embiid, but you know, a lot of these centers today, because of the pace of the game, they're really power forwards masquerading as centers. They're really what we would call stretch fours that are playing center. So, yeah, I think Magic Johnson, remember, Magic Johnson had some post moves. He had a sky hook. You know, that's a shot that's not in today's game anymore. So he's a guy that could definitely score in the paint, right? Then in fast break opportunities, he's going to score. He wasn't the best at, say, jump shooting. But if we're talking about like 1990, 91 version of Magic, then he definitely had a jump shot that you at least had to respect. Now, I know some people are going to bring up three-point shooting. Now, he was never a great three-point shooter. Only, I think, 31% for his career. But at the same time, the last 3 or 4 years of his career, he was a much improved three-point shooter. He had, I think, 1 year he shot 37 or 38% from three. Another year, 36% from three. And during that stretch, from 89 to, I think, 96, when he played, he was a 34.6% career three-point shooter during that stretch. So at the end of the day, I think he would be a decent three-point shooter who you have to at least respect. And through repetition, you know, he probably would increase his range a little bit. And honestly, the guy that you kind of can compare him to a little bit is LeBron James. A little bit. Because at the end of the day, LeBron is not a great shooter. So, at the end of the day, you know, I could definitely see Magic putting up well over 20 points a game, maybe, I don't know, 24, maybe 8 rebounds, 13 assists, you know. I think he'll still put up those same great numbers. You got to remember that Magic was a phenomenal free throw shooter, 85% for his career. The first half of his career, he was an 80% free throw shooter, but the second half, he was a phenomenal 88% free throw shooter. Had 1 year where he led the league in free throw percentage. Now, one thing I do think Magic may hurt a team on in this era is on defense. Now, the good news is that I do think Magic would get a lot of steals. I think he would initiate a lot of fast break opportunities off of those steals. I think he'd gamble more, probably be amongst the leaders in steals. But on the other end of the floor, I think he would be a big liability. You know, so whatever team Magic is on, you may want to have a guy like I don't know, some 3-and-D guy. Have them guard the other team's best perimeter player and let Magic, you know, let him just roam. Let him just roam, you know, not necessarily committed to any one particular player, because that's not what Magic does. You know, he's not a lockdown defender. Well, anyway, that's my opinion on it. At least tell me what you guys think.